This is one of the biggest updates for Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this game has been a game that's been looking amazing since the launch of the game, but there has been always something off with it, especially since with the recent patches when they added patch tracing to the game, when they added ray reconstructions to the game, there's been some problems with the game, with a lot of the NPCs looking waxy in the game when you have ray reconstruction on the game, just making the game look off. When you have this game maxed out with all the graphics, besides looking amazing, there are some times where you, in certain areas of the game, especially with the NPC lighting, a lot of times the game actually doesn't look that good on there. But now we finally have a really good looking game. Now, the thing that's been most people have been talking about is going to be the new DLSS 4.0 on there with the transformer, and that does look a lot better. Now, I do have some footage right here of before the patch on there and then after the patch. And honestly, like, just from the videos, like, I've seen other people's videos on this update also, and you can't really tell that big of a difference. But when you're playing the game in person, it's a huge difference. It's a night and day difference on that. It's hard to point it in a video for some reason, but like, ever since I've been playing this game, like, I started my second playthrough a couple of months back on here, and the game always looks off. Like, I'm playing the game in 4K resolution on my RTX 4080 Super. I'm playing in 4K. I have every single setting maxed out on there, and I'm using DLSS performance on there. Now, when I go back from performance to like native on there, obviously the frame rate drops, but honestly, the game doesn't look hugely different, but it still has that weird off look to it, and that was mostly because of the problems that they had with ray reconstruction in this game, and that has been fixed now playing the game with, especially with the new transformer model on there, you get around the same FPS you got before. From my testing, you get like 1 or 2 frames worse on there compared to the older frame rates, but the game looks so much better. Like, right now, the game on performance mode looks better than the game running natively with ray reconstruction on in the previous patch. That's how good the game looks. Like, I'm playing the game on my 4K TV with performance mode, which means the game is running at 1080p resolution, being AI upscaled to 4K, and the game looks amazing. I mean, like, a lot of people complain about, DLSS and all these, AI frames and everything, but to be honest, with a game like this looking as good as it does now, and you're just getting pretty much free frames, I cannot complain. Like, this is incredible. Now, there are some cases where, fake frames, frame gen, all that stuff are a problem, because I feel like a lot of game developers are just using that as an easy way out. Especially, I'm working on a video right now on Ninja Gaiden 2. That just came out, and that game runs like shit, and it looks like the Xbox 360 game. Like, there's no reason why you need to use DLSS or like frame gen on a game like that. That game should you should easily get like 4K 144 frames on it. But when it's a game like Cyberpunk, it makes sense that you kind of have to, use some sort of like AI technology in order to make it look better. But Cyberpunk is pretty much fixed now. I mean, the only problem I still do have is that in order to be able to use the better HDR mode in this game, you still need to have frame gen off, and you really can't really play this game without frame gen. I guess if you have the new 5090, you could do it without the frame gen, but the whole point of the 50 series is that that you get the 4 times frame gen on there. So their main selling points, you cannot unfortunately be able to use the better HDR method on the Cyberpunk game, but even just using the HDR PK on there, it still looks really good. I just wish you could use the HDR what is it, sRGB or whatever it's called. I wish you could use that with frame gen. But besides that, the game is pretty much fixed now. Like, Cyberpunk looks amazing now. Just playing on, like, you can max everything out, just enable performance mode on there, and the game looks pretty much native. It's crazy, guys. So all I'm gonna say is that if you're just watching videos and you're like, oh, I don't see the difference between the two, just play the game. It's a huge difference. And I believe this only really works with if you have an NVIDIA card. I think if you have an AMD card, you might not be able to use it. But if you do have an NVIDIA card, and if you ever felt like the game feels a little off, now it looks so good on there. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope you liked it. If you want more video game updates type of videos on there, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.